I have 2 kids, I'm a single mom. What the heck would happen if I got actually sick? My body has been punishing me for all of the years that I pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and never took time to rest. So today I want to give you a little peek into what the consequences of hustle culture have been for me and tell you a little bit about a new health scare that I'm facing. For those of you who don't know, I have something called Ankylosing Spondylitis, or AS. What it is an autoimmune condition that primarily attacks the spine. And if it's not controlled, the spine can eventually fuse into basically one bone where I would have not much mobility at all. So due to the level of stress that I'm always putting myself under, just from trying to achieve more, trying to do more, I get flares quite often, and my doctor has told me I'm in the severe category for this illness. So that aside, lately I have run into something new. And what that is what I thought were bug bites. So over the course of a few weeks, I started getting these little tiny bug bites everywhere. And I wasn't concerned about them in the beginning because they just looked like little flea bites, and everyone gets that. But I kept getting new ones, like there was a bug living with me or something. I even asked ChatGPT, what kind of bug bite can this be? Because I need to figure out how to stop it. But then they started changing. So they basically turned into little craters where it would basically opened up and a black center kind of grew in the center. And sorry if that's TMI. But so I started wondering, okay, maybe this is not a normal bug bite. Because about a year prior, I had a really large one, a really large bug bite, or what I thought was a bug bite. And I even went to the emergency room for it because it turned black in the center and just started growing. It grew to the size of a nickel before I went to the hospital. And they told me that it looked like it had turned necrotic. So at that time, it was okay. They gave me antibiotics. It went away on its own. And so I just thought, man, bad spider bite. But these new ones were looking exactly like that, but smaller. Oh, one extra thing. They started appearing on my face as well. And this is actually the remainder of one. It started as this teeny dot that kind of hurt. And then it just kind of spread and grew to this big sore. We were about to go on a 2-week trip in Florida. And my mom convinced me that I needed to go get them checked out before we left. So that's what I did. So about a week into my trip, they called and they said, hey, we think that it could be something rare and we're going to do an extra test because it came back saying that it could be a bug bite, but given that you got almost 40 of these, and they all showed up at different times, and they were all at different stages of healing, it just doesn't seem likely that there's a bug living on your shoulder. They were thinking it was something called Lymphoma Papulosis, and that the secondary test they did to test for some special CD30 cells came back positive, but they wanted to do more biopsies to figure out, to confirm. So at this point, we don't know what it is. That's their suspicion, this lymphomatoid papulosis, or LYP, or I don't know if it's LYP, I have no idea. So that's what they think. But, of course, because of all of the information available to us, I had to research. And part of me wishes I hadn't, although, can't stop yourself, That's just what you do. You look it up. You ask ChatGPT or Gemini. So that's what I did. Apparently, it is like a lymphoma that is technically has the malignant cells, but it doesn't spread out of the skin. So it's mostly something that would not kill me, but would be something that would be a lifelong issue where I will have recurrent flares, and it's these horrible things that turn into sores, necrotic tissue, which didn't love them. And unfortunately for me, they like my face. So I've had 3 on my face so far, but this is the largest one. So that alone is very annoying, especially when you're trying to make videos. Like, who wants to be getting things on your face? But I figured, whatever, if I get one, just, it is what it is. Like, what am I gonna do? Can't control it, so I'm gonna try not to worry about it. And the other part of that research that I did is I found that if that is what it is, then it makes it more likely that I will get a secondary lymphoma. So I guess, like, the chance of getting a lymphoma for someone who doesn't have this is like 1% or 2% or less. I don't know. Like, don't quote me on that. But with it, the chance is more like 10 to 20%. And depending on the source, because I saw quite a few different percentages on this, the worst one that I found was 60% chance. And I don't know what's right. I don't know what's true. But what I do know is that I naturally stress a lot, which is why I have to put systems into place and do things for my business to specifically reduce my stress, to reduce its dependency on me, to make sure that I am not allowing myself to worry and get to that level that's going to cause a flare of AS. And now, if this is the case, something that I have, again, I don't know, of this new condition. So with that possibility, I, of course, went down the research spiral, the stress spiral, the what if spiral, and of course, it's like your mind immediately goes to, I have 2 kids, I'm a single mom, what the heck would happen if I got actually sick? Like, not just these things, but what if it was something worse? I went from no possibility of anything wrong aside from what I already know, what I already handle, what I already deal with on a daily basis, to all of a sudden, you have something that could be associated with cancer. Like, I one day I had no bug bites, the next day I had 5, 10, and then after that, the next week it was 30. And it just changed so quickly. It just like came out of nowhere. And so that just sudden, unexpected thing just had me scared, like just praying. So it made me start thinking, okay, what would happen if I was gone? What would happen if I was sick, if I couldn't work at all? Like, my business can absolutely run without me, but can it survive without me if I was never going to be around? My business heavily relies on my appraisal license right now. And so, yes, I can physically step away when I need to and when I want to. But if my license went away, if I was gone, what would happen? Would it survive? And so, like I said, huge rabbit hole. Huge. I mean, I even started going down the rabbit hole about this channel. Like, what would happen to this? Like, should I even attempt to build this? Should I even make anything dependent on my face? Like, is it worth it now? What if something changes? I mean, so clearly, my mind was running away with me. I had to eventually ground myself and say, okay, if I do have that, I'm thankful that it's that and not something worse. Everything is fine right now. Everything's good. I don't need to panic. And I'm not going to let this stop me from living my life. Because for a moment, that's where I was going with it. My brain was, oh my gosh, I need to change everything. I need to sell my house. I need to move. I need to get out of everything and just live perfectly right now, because who knows how long I have left. There are so many things in life that can come and surprise us, and there's no way to be prepared for it or control it. And that's the big one. I can't control it. It just is what it is. I can focus on being with my family. I can focus on making sure my business stays running independently, and maybe I can do a little more to make sure that if I wasn't around fully, it will continue to run, to just give me that peace of mind. I can focus and center my attention on the things that really will get me what I want in my life, and not push myself too hard if I need to rest. And that's the key, is I've always just pushed until recently. I mean, until I've started realizing, oh my gosh, I don't have to do it all. Everything doesn't have to be on my shoulders. And that's why I build my business the way I do. That's why when something new comes up, when something comes up that needs me, that stresses me, my first thing is, how can I get this off of my plate? Who can handle this? Who can I teach? Who can I train? It just becomes the first top priority to offload. And that's what I'm taking away from this, that it's okay for things to be out of my control. And all I need to do is focus on, what do I want? And I know what I want. I want to help people through this channel. I want to spend my days homeschooling my kids and focusing on them. I want to make sure my appraisal business stays systematized to the point that it doesn't need me every day. And I want to travel. I want to go to Japan. That's my next goal. And whatever the doctors come back with on whatever this is, whether it's a bug bite or a red flag for a potential future cancer, I'm fine. I'm happy. Everything is fine. I hope this video helped you. Please like and subscribe if you want to hear more and kind of build your life with me to get what you want out of it and be happy. It was great talking to you. Thanks.